So basically in this video, um, I'm going to talk more about, who's controlling the world or the planet. And I'm not really smart. I was raised in an alcoholic dysfunctional family with drugs that was drug dealing, and I guess that affected my brain quite a bit. Those are my credentials, so you know that I'm not smart. But basically, well, like the people that are controlling this world is not ET. ET, extraterrestrial beings, want nothing to do with this planet. Because if they're carbon-based life forms, nuclear stuff isn't going to be really good for them or their offspring, whatever they are. So I can say firmly that ET would want nothing to do with this planet, considering what we have done to it. If they wanted the planet, they would have got it back before we basically started really trashing it, and it's pretty trashed. It's probably at irreversible point now. It's probably irreversible, or it's definitely irreversible when you take all the factors in. But so those are basically the people that are controlling the planet. And then I see a lot of stuff. I always wondered since I was a kid, since I was a child when I was young, who's controlling the planet, so. And how they control is pretty obvious. It's through social control, social engineering and so forth, propaganda, news, all that stuff. I mean, yeah. So it's all just a bunch of big brainwashing, so the super powerful can stay in control. And from what I know, the money grubbers or the super powerful and everything just are actually starting to slightly get found out here and there. And they really, really don't like that. They're trying to stay behind the scenes as much as they can, trust me. They are. And they are starting to get found out. I don't know what will happen there. I really don't. They probably don't. So everything you see, feel, think has been programmed into you by these people that want to continue to control you and to act as their slave for as good as you can and as long as you can be their slave. Once you reach a certain age, you can no longer be a viable slave for them, so there's no real purpose for you to be alive, to exist. You're like a worn out battery. You've basically been expired, and so to have you to continue to exist when you can no longer function in the capacity that they would like to make money off you, they would prefer it if you just went and died. And that's pretty much what it is. So unless you want to be a member of the factory, well, you don't have a choice. Unless you want to work in their factory, whatever it may be, for the allotted time that they want you to, then you're basically a worthless, toxic asset that's expendable. And so, yeah, if you can no longer do that, yeah, if they can no longer have you in slavery or bondage. And they've been doing this ever since the guy left the cave to go get some food. I guess he was the first one, girl or whatever. Maybe it was woman. They always say caveman. What about cave woman? I mean, kind of goes both ways, but and they don't really care about the future of the planet in any way, shape, or form. They just care about making more money off it until it just is so toxic and polluted and overpopulated that until it's finished, it's done. Yeah, until the game's over. Until one of them has won officially. So everything is really, really about that. It's just super rich and powerful, but the super rich and powerful are beyond money. They just use money, like I've said before, as just a way to have the system operate or whatever. But they're dealing on another level with other things. And so you could say the root of evil is all money, but it actually is probably the root of power or whatever represents money, the power trip or whatever that the game that they play is basically represents whatever. And yeah, and I don't think it's it's not like they try to pass off like it's just some evil organized society that has all these sacrifices and all that. I mean, that is just going on anyways, regardless of those people doing it. So they don't have to have these special meetings where that's done. All you have to do is just walk outside and look at the street, depending on what country you're in, or watch the propaganda news and all that stuff, the social control and all that. And I'll get into that in another video, the brainwashing, but that's basically it. So all I can figure out is the only way to be able to stop it wouldn't be through violence or like a hostile takeover, because that would just feed what it is already. It would just be and this is how to stop it. This is the only way I figured how to really stop it, is if you did the Gandhi trip, the Gandhi thing, and you just said, we're not going to be a part of it. We're not going to work today, and we're not going to buy any more of your crap. And that would just cost them so much money, just one day. And then if you did it 2 days, or 3 days, or a week, or a month, it would just frickin', yeah. That would be the only way to stop it, is for everybody to say that I refuse to be a part of this. I'm not playing your game anymore. Any of it. I'm going to drop my guns. I'm going to drop everything I'm doing, and I'm taking today off. I'm going to go on vacation. Everybody. Military generals, pilots, submarines, politicians, just everybody just frickin' did that a few times. That would teach them who's boss. That would teach them that we're not the slaves anymore. But that's the only way to do it, really. That is the only way to stop it. It would be interesting to see what would happen.